What is going on, everybody, and welcome to a new week and a new episode of Mo Better Price Action Breakdown. So, we're not going to take too much time with the intro. We're going to go ahead and get right into looking at current price action on Bitcoin. Now, hopefully, y'all are doing okay this quarter. It's been a really rough quarter in risk on markets, especially, in risk markets, especially for assets like cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, any of them. Altcoins down 80, 70, 60%, Bitcoin down 30%. This is by far the worst, I believe it's the worst 3 month span we've had in crypto since I believe it's like 2015, something like that. I could be a little bit wrong on the dates, but it's been a really long time since we had 3 straight red months to open the new year, to open Q1. And it's been pretty brutal for a lot of people, right? It's been pretty brutal, especially everybody who was anticipating that Q1 was going to be extremely bullish with, Trump being signed into office and all that good stuff. It is what it is. All you can do is look at price action now and figure out where you think it is going to be going, right? So we do open. Q2 starts tomorrow. April 1st is tomorrow. And of course, we know that this has been a very, very narrative and headline driven market over the last 3 months. And I suspect that it will continue to be so until it isn't, right? With that being said, we know that Trump is going to be having some more tariff announcements coming on April 2nd. So something to be on the lookout for. Me personally, I will more than likely be out of the markets until after that point, because I just, it's just there's no point in trading a market that is so headline driven right now. You want to get, or I should say, I want to have really clean and actionable price action to be trading, and not be trading narratives or by word of mouth of whoever, even if it's the president of the United States, right? But with that being said, I do want to get into some price action breakdowns so that way we can at least anticipate or prepare for what we will be expecting to open the new quarter. So let's go ahead and get right down into it. This is Bitcoin on the daily time frame. So we're going to just go ahead and map out our major levels of support and resistance, right? Like we always do. We still have support here on a high time frame on the daily, created at 78,500, the 78,500 area. Okay, price zones are not a price point, but a price area. Zones are not a price point, but a price area, right? They are, anyway, that's what they are. So we see that we have support being created down here, right? Go ahead and mark that out in yellow. Actually, I want this line to be white. Okay, actually, maybe we want the line to be blue. No, that's fine. Okay, so we have support, major support being created at 78,500. We have resistance that was created here last Monday, that we were never able to break above, right? Sorry, I like to just make sure the lines are straight, so yeah. Okay, we were never able to break above here, even on the daily time frame. You got a rejection wick, small body, rejection wick, indecision candle, rejection wick, indecision candle, rejection, indecision, and then finally you got the breakdown, right? You got the break below support. Hopefully y'all can see that here. We had created support on the daily time frame. Boom. That support was broken, and now we are moving down. Typically we see if price fails and rejects at a certain level, we typically see the other side of the range get filled. However, again, we have a lot of support here in this area that we have not been able to close below. Hopefully y'all can see that, right? We have not been able to close below this support. And so until we can get either a push below 81,300 um, to fill lower towards 78,500, there's nothing to short here, in my opinion. Right? There's nothing to short. Now, again, with the tariffs and everything, we're looking kind of heavy right here, so it very easily could break down over the coming days and maybe catch some support, catch a bid in these areas. But we don't know until that happens. So what will we be looking for? We'll go ahead and drop down to the 4-hour time frame. Like I said, so we have our resistance and our support areas clearly defined. This is about a 10% range, 11% range, right? Let me take that off. So it's about 11% range to trade within. So it's very tradable. It's a very tradable range. Okay, so we'll go ahead and drop down into the 4-hour. Now we see, all right, now we got some support being created lower. We have some resistance on the 4-hour time frame. I'd say that the resistance is really right here at this area. This is where we bounced and then broke down. Have not been able to reclaim this area yet. So if we are able to get maybe a candle that breaks and closes above 84,700, we have potential to move up towards these equal highs created at the 88,600 area. Otherwise, there's really nothing to do, right? There's really nothing to do. We are coming to we're retesting the underside of this breakdown, but this is more of like I guess this is a pretty, this is a pretty good area, right? We have this area where we broke support, retested support. Maybe we'll use this area instead. This is our support area, right? Or this is our resistance area right now. As y'all can see, we had support here, boom, moved away, broke down, on top of support, consolidated, and broke through. Okay, so that's a support area. It's now coming back up, retesting it, and rejecting away. So the only way that we can look to get long, in my opinion, is if we can reclaim this level and hold above it. All right, so we'd want to see something like this where we get up here and then hold in order to move up higher. Or you can wait for a breakdown, maybe support to build, and then a breakdown here. If that were to happen, you'd want to see price kind of consolidate on top of support and then break down. Otherwise, you just do nothing, right? And mind you that you can only take these trades during high volume times. Okay, so New York Open, pre-New York, pre-London, London Open, New York, London crossover. Those are the only times you want to be looking to enter these trades, right? It's going to give you the highest probability to get price to go in the direction that you want. Okay. So yeah, so on the 4-hour, that's what we're looking like. On the daily, we got that broken down. On the 1-hour, again. So I feel like on the 1-hour, you kind of got a little bit more, in my opinion, like, even though on the 4-hour, this is obviously an area where we've broken resistance and we retested resistance and are rejecting away. I feel like it'd be safer to take a trade if you wanted to get long if we were able to break above 84,500 and hold. Then we could maybe move up a little bit more. Otherwise, any retests up here that get rejected are sells, right? Any retests up to this area that get rejected, so we get a price candle that moves up, a price can't accept above here and starts to close back below, much like what this structure looks like up here, right? Where we pushed up, try to test it again, and we're just shrinking until we break down, right? That would be a similar concept on a lower time frame here, if we could get that move. Otherwise, to go long, what you would want to see is price get up here, boom, and break through, hold, and then be able to move, right? You'd want to see something like that. Now again, it's not necessarily going to happen exactly that way, but something similar to that is what you would want to see. Otherwise, if you're looking to go short, You'd want to see us consolidate here, and then boom, if we can break down and accept below here, you could take that. You could instead wait for the retest and then take that lower, and see if maybe you can get down to here. Maybe we get down to 79,000. Who's to say? Okay. So yeah, I mean, very, very simple, man. We're just gonna keep it very simple, super simple. This is not, we need a strong candle close to be able to get long, period. Otherwise we're just, I mean, shit, we're just ranging right now, right? So can't be looking for breakouts until we have a confirmed breakout candle. We were looking really good for a little bit and just failed, and now we're kind of just resetting price back down towards the 82,000 area. Yeah, so that's all we're looking for right now. Keep it very simple, very actionable. Don't try and guess too much. Just trade what is in front of you, and until you get something that looks favorable, you get a candle that closes favorable in the direction that you want, just do nothing. And I do like that, you know, if we can get a candle to close closer towards 84,000, and then get the next candle to wick down and continue pushing up, we should be able to come take these highs at 88,300. But again, with the tariffs and everything, with the Trump, or with the market being so headline driven by Trump, I think the best thing to do is just wait. You just wait until all the volatile news is over with and markets give you a clear sense of direction. Okay. All right, so there's Bitcoin. We'll go ahead and we'll do ETH now. Let me go ahead and take off all these levels. We'll break this down on the daily time frame as well. ETH has been getting absolutely slaughtered, and just since December, as a matter of fact, not even just this quarter. It's just been getting slaughtered since December. So obviously in a straight line down, starting to kind of base out here. So let's mark out our levels. All right, we got support being created down here. We got resistance created up here. I do like that we have a clean run of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 daily candles. 6 daily candles being printed bearish. What is the likelihood of the 7th and 8th candles being bearish? Probably not very high, right? Probably not very high, unless it's just going to continue the downtrend, right? If the downtrend continues to be established, then the likelihood of it continuing down is pretty high, right? Now, how do we know if the downtrend is going to be confirmed or established? We have to get price to break and close below here, accept price down, and then continue moving. Okay. If we get something that happens like this, where we wick down and recover this area, then we could look to get long to cover this space. Okay. Again, it is the 31st, the end of the month. So the best thing to do right now is just wait until the start of the new month, wait until you get some confirmation for price to be going the way you want it to. So this is on the daily time frame. Obviously, got our support and our resistance marked out. This is a 16% range that you can trade within, between $1,800 and $2,100. Right, so it's a pretty large range. Very nice opportunities to, scalp some profits out of. All right. So here on the 4 hour, dropping down, we see that we have resistance being created here. Similar to Bitcoin, it's pretty tight range right now. Again, that is because it's the end of the month, so not much is going to be happening until month open, Q2 opens. All right, so if we had price able to push up above this high and close, then we could expect that we maybe get here and we can come and take these highs. You can see this area here. All right, maybe we can tap into those highs. Maybe we break them, maybe we don't, but we definitely could tap into them for sure. So have to see how price reacts there, whether we're going to take profits, or I probably would take profit here regardless, just because of the state of the market right now. As long as it's consolidating, you want to treat it as consolidation until it proves that it's not consolidating anymore. right? So we get something like that to finish out. Maybe, over the coming days, we get here and then we slowly make our way up and we're able to, form some sort of like bullish pattern that we can break out of and continue to fill higher. Otherwise, we would be looking for price to fail here and then accept lower and just play the range until it's not ranging anymore. All right. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do at all. Okay, so this is on the 4 hour. Again, if you want to refine it down even further, go down into the 1 hour. That way you get really clear, precise entries and exits during high volume times. So I see that there's resistance here, but I don't, like I said, I don't really like, this doesn't feel like a really strong resistance area until it proves to be. Okay, which the only way it can prove to be is if we just reject from it and break these lows. Otherwise, it's still just a pretty weak area. And again, even you can see here that, price has got, there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of area to there's a lot of area to move to the left-hand side, right? So if we can get price to, break up here and accept, it should be a pretty easy, I would say easy, but it should at least be a decent move up. Now, whether we fail here and come back down, again, to be determined. But as far as probabilities are concerned, we've already dropped now over 50%. 60% on ETH on a high time frame. Let's go ahead and just take a look at how far ETH has fallen since December, since didn't even create an all-time high, just got there. We're down 56%, right? So, what we are at now is a discount, right? We're at a discount area. ETH is over 50% off. So, in my opinion, this is just not really a good place to look for sells until I get undeniable evidence that sells are going to continue, right? And in my opinion, the way we're moving down and holding until we break these lows and close below them, sells just don't feel favorable at this point. I could be wrong, and that's okay. If I am, I will adjust accordingly. But as of right now, price action tells me that the cleanest and easiest moves are going to be to the upside. All right, so that's on the 4 hour. On the 1 hour again, you can see you got to measure your move here. You got a 3% move. That's a 530 pip range, right? So plenty of room to move, plenty of money to be made in these areas. You just have to be patient and wait, sit on your hands until you get something that you want. All right. So let's go down now into Sol. We're going to kind of speed run through these last few because I don't think I really need to explain anymore. It's all pretty much the same as far as what we would be looking for and how we would be triggered. All right, so here you got Sol's creating this support. Looks very weak, to be fair, on the daily time frame, which is to be expected considering the fact that we are moving into the end of the quarter. Okay, so maybe what we could get here is, it really feels like we get a spike down and a reclaim maybe. That would be good. Then we can fill this area, right? If we should instead spike down and not be able to reclaim here and instead start breaking down lower, then you would take the trade lower towards these lows. This is all going to be predicated on what Bitcoin does, of course. So, the first thing to be watching is Bitcoin. You want to have eyes on alt/BTC pairs to see if they start getting some movement away. Also, a good thing to keep an eye on is Bitcoin dominance. As long as Bitcoin dominance continues to rise, altcoins will not partake in bullish momentum. So we need, which is actually kind of looking good right here. Looks like we might fail this area instead of filling this entire wick, and it looks pretty weak below here. So if we start getting some breakdowns to happen where we break down here and break down here, that would be really excellent for altcoins. That would send altcoins flying. Okay, anyway, so let's get to Solana. Again, not gonna take too much time. Just mark out these areas of support and resistance. We have resistance here. Okay. We have this range. This is a 20% range to work within on the daily time frame. Right. And we have some consolidation happening. This is pretty tight consolidation right here. I don't really like the way this is consolidating. It's not giving a very clear idea of which way it wants to go. So until we get price to break out here and hold above here, then we could consider going in. Otherwise, this one is a sit on your hands and wait. Maybe it breaks down and we can reclaim here. Then you could think about going in. Otherwise, if we were to fail, retest, and not be able to reclaim and continue moving down, take it down lower towards these lows. Okay. Go here, bing, bing. Set that as a resistance area. And this is on with the 4 hour. The 1 hour, obviously you can see this is a really tight range. Range is holding up. There's some work to do in order to get out of this and really put in some bullish structure. I would like to see price close above $132 with a pretty strong close in order to believe that we're going to continue just moving bullishly. If we were to get up here and fail again, just play the range back down to the breakout level. If it were to break out, if we were to get something like this, right? Otherwise, there's nothing to do for Solana. There's nothing to do here. Nothing to do. So we just wait. This could take a little while. Right? You also got to understand that this could take a little while for these prices that you want to see for them to form, for movements to happen the way you want to. If they happen quickly, cool. If not, just be prepared to sit on your hands and wait. All right. Okay, so yep, that's what we got here going for Solana. Now we'll go ahead and take a look at XRP, the most hated coin of this entire bull. Well, it hasn't really been a bull run, but the Bitcoin bull run, this has been the most hated coin by far. Okay, so we still are holding this support around the $2 level that we've been holding, that we've had marked out. This is an extremely important level. If we were to break and close below here, we got a long way down, another 30% down, right? So we definitely don't want to see that happen. It is looking pretty heavy. It's hard to deny this bar pattern setting up. We need price to basically prove to us that it wants to continue moving up, and that would mostly include not closing below $2 and not breaking these lows. If it broke these lows, you'd be hard pressed to have a bullish thesis. All right, you'd be hard pressed. But as far as price action is concerned, obviously you see that the support and resistance are far away. They're not really clear. We have some resistance on the lower time frame here. Price was not able to continue pushing bullish, broke down. Now we're creating a small candle. We need some confirmation with a strong close above this candle that would get us pushing higher. Or we need confirmation of a strong close below the $2 area. Say maybe even towards $1.95 if we close towards there. Then we could look at least to push down and fill this wick maybe. Maybe if we don't even fill all of it, but we get close and then start reversing our way back up, that's something possible as well. So on the 4-hour, break this down, and we have $2.25. We got some resistance here. Boom, boom. So I would say really until this area is definitively reclaimed, we don't have any trade to take, higher at least. If we were to fail, if we were to get up here and start forming bearish structure and fail below, we could take the short that breaks support and take it lower back towards the bottom of the range. Otherwise, I just feel like at this point, we're getting towards the bottom of this range. If we get some support to develop, bullish candles to develop on support over the next couple of days, again, preferably after April 2nd, then we could look to see some movement to the upside. Otherwise, there's nothing to do. Okay, and that's on the 4-hour. On the 1-hour, the 1-hour levels align pretty well. So yeah, really this is just at this point, this is a no trade zone. Most of these assets are in no trade zones right now. These are just observe zones, in my opinion. They're observe zones until you get something that is undeniably bullish or bearish to confirm your bias. And otherwise we do nothing. Okay. So very, very easy, very simple. Hopefully y'all can kind of get an idea of how these price levels are broken down and understand why I'm looking for what I'm looking for. And yeah, that's going to go ahead and do it for me. I'm not going to keep y'all too long. If there's anything else that y'all would like me to go over, any rules that you're not understanding, or if you're not understanding why or how price is developing a certain way, let me know. I can come on a video and I can explain it for you. I can break it down further. Whatever y'all need, let me know. I'm here to provide. But in lieu of holding you guys here against your will for too long, I'm going to go ahead and end this here. Some really simple price action happening right now. And you just sit on your hands for the time being until you get the type of candle patterns that you want. And then you execute. All right? So, cool. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you haven't already and you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and you want to stay up to date with these weekly videos. I will be coming back again later on this week. Maybe. I do have my sister's wedding. My sister's wedding is going to be this week, so I'm going to be out of town. I'll be in Colorado for the majority of the week. So if I'm not able to get any videos out, you can always either join the Discord, which I'll leave a link in the description, or you can follow me on any of my social media accounts on X. Well, that's really the one I use to post charts and stuff. So if you want to follow me on X, you're more than welcome to follow me on X. I will go ahead and link my X in the description as well. But yeah. All right, man. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. Hopefully we can get back to y'all later this week. If not, we will be back at the end of the week to kind of wrap up how the week ahead went. And yep. All right, cool. Thank y'all for tuning in. Until next time, peace out.